The year 1384 in Seefeld, Austria, is remembered for an extraordinary event involving the miraculous bleeding host, which coincided with a powerful earthquake. This event became a cornerstone of local history and a source of spiritual reflection for generations. It began during a mass at the St. Oswald Church in Seefeld. Legend states that a nobleman named Oswald Milzer, known for his arrogance and entitlement, demanded to receive the large priestly host instead of the smaller one typically given to laypeople. This act of pride and irreverence triggered a supernatural event that astonished all present. When the priest reluctantly handed the large host to Oswald Milzer, the ground beneath him suddenly trembled, and the nobleman was thrown to his knees. At the same time, the host began to bleed, and cracks formed in the church floor, as though the earth itself was reacting to the sacrilegious act. The earthquake, though localized, was said to be powerful enough to terrify the witnesses and shake the surrounding area. The miraculous nature of this event quickly became the focus of both spiritual and geological inquiries. On one hand, the bleeding host was seen as a divine intervention, symbolizing Christ's suffering and a direct rebuke to human pride and irreverence toward the Eucharist. The bleeding host remained visible for an extended period, drawing pilgrims from far and wide. Many believe that the earthquake was not merely a natural occurrence, but an act of divine power to underscore the sacredness of the moment. On the other hand, the earthquake, though less understood in scientific terms during that era, added a physical and dramatic dimension to the spiritual phenomenon. The ground's trembling served as a tangible reminder of the power and presence of God. Local records and oral traditions emphasize the connection between human actions, divine justice, and natural phenomena. The earthquake was interpreted as a sign of divine displeasure, reinforcing the sacredness of the Eucharist and calling for humility and repentance. The cracks in the church floor were left unrepaired for some time, serving as a visible and lasting reminder of the event. These cracks became a focal point for pilgrims who visited to venerate the bleeding host and reflect on their own faith. Pilgrims would often kneel at the site, considering it hallowed ground. The impact of the Seefeld miracle extended far beyond the region. Accounts of the event spread across Europe, fueling devotion to the Eucharist and inspiring the construction of altars and monuments in honor of the bleeding host. The event also influenced theological discussions of the time, as it highlighted the mystery of the Eucharist and the consequences of disrespecting sacred rituals. Church authorities used the event as a teaching moment, emphasizing the importance of reverence during Mass and the dangers of pride and entitlement. The connection between the earthquake and the bleeding host became a powerful narrative, blending the natural and the divine in a way that resonated deeply with medieval Christians. The Seefeld event also left a mark on the local community. The St. Oswald Church was transformed into a significant pilgrimage site, attracting visitors from across the Holy Roman Empire. The church's architecture was modified to accommodate the growing number of pilgrims, and special liturgical celebrations were instituted to commemorate the event. Local artisans created depictions of the miracle, including paintings, stained glass windows, and sculptures, which further solidified its place in popular devotion. These artistic representations often included imagery of the trembling ground, the bleeding host, and Oswald Milzer's humbled posture, serving as visual catechesis for those unable to read. Centuries later, modern interpretations of the Seefeld miracle continue to inspire debate and reflection. Geologists and historians have examined the event from their respective disciplines, seeking to understand the nature and extent of the earthquake. Some suggest that the seismic activity could have been caused by tectonic movements in the region, which is known for its geological instability. However, the timing and context of the earthquake remain a mystery, leaving room for spiritual interpretation. Believers argue that the simultaneous occurrence of the earthquake and the bleeding host cannot be dismissed as a coincidence. They see it as a profound reminder of the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual realms. In addition to its theological and historical significance, the Seefeld miracle offers insights into medieval spirituality and the relationship between humans and nature. During the 14th century, people viewed natural disasters as expressions of divine will, often connected to human sin or virtue. The earthquake at Seefeld was no exception. It was seen as a wake-up call, urging individuals and communities to align their lives with God's will. The event also highlights the medieval understanding of the Eucharist as the literal body and blood of Christ, deserving of utmost reverence and devotion. The legacy of the Seefeld miracle endures in modern times. Pilgrims continue to visit the site, now part of the Tyrol region in Austria, to honor the Eucharist and seek spiritual renewal. The story of Oswald Milzer and the Bleeding Host is retold in various forms, from sermons and books to documentaries and guided tours. It serves as a timeless reminder of the power of humility, the sanctity of the Eucharist, and the mysterious ways in which God can work through both natural and supernatural means. The Seefeld miracle invites all who hear it to reflect on their own faith, actions, and relationship with the divine.